All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. They can't take it to 10. Hey.
Feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Call us dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard for your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like blah. Yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. I pissed so my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Masterpiece, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Rider, you ain't riding, we break you down like a pound. I got a dope pound to surround me, I'm corrupted. Flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war, you got to love it like blah. Yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like.
Thanks, Coach. Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Let's go. Great. Bang. 6-6. Pull it high.
Wentz now on first down. And complete to Zach Ertz. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Eagles, first down. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Here we go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, let's go. Let's stop the 87. 80 weapons.
Now a two-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
On 2nd and 12, Wentz. He completes it right side to White. Give him 6 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And he connects with Ertz. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Out of scrimmage.
Sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Mike 51. Mike 51.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily. He's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Running with Howard. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 2nd and 7, Wentz, and he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Nelson Aguilar. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A look at Kerryon Johnson, 2nd-year man out of Auburn. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
22!
From the 27, Stafford. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
50-50. Hey, red.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. And he finds Danny Amendola. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that 1st down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
51 to Mike, boy, 51. Here it comes.
Go ahead, easy. Hey, it's coming up.
Now on 2nd and 13, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Brandon Graham applying the heat off the edge. So a 1st quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers, because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them. Maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here's Jackson to return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far. All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Running out of the gun with White. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
Go.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out.
Sunday.
51 to Mike.
Hey, high 7.
51 to Mike. 51 to Mike.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he's going to have the 1st down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. An Eagle 1st down, Wentz to Ertz.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Now this throw caught left side. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body. ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control, and you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On first down, it's White. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. On the handoff, this is Howard, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Get ready. Get ready. Big Ed, Big Ed, Big Ed. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jordan Howard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams, an 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. The shotgun snap for Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On the return, Jackson. A great blocking nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
They'll run on first down. It's Howard. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. On 2nd and a couple. Wentz. Jackson's got it over the middle. A gain there of 21 yards.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
I'm still remembering.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Christian Jones. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's White, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Jake Elliott on for the field goal. A 43-yard attempt.
And Elliott puts this one through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this. First half. This is 2nd and long.
Strong right. Strong right. Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down.
Ready. Lady.
Check 53. Let's go, D. Out.
0. 50. Hey, easy.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Back to throw. Stafford. And it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse. And it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. With it is Jackson. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust. And this should be a position now where the great ones, they relish this opportunity to try and put points on the board.
Now the first play in the drive there is incomplete. Will tie the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
I'm darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Wentz will try again on second down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard.
51 for Mike. Here we go. 21. Here I come again. 20 hot. Here I come again. 51's the Mike. 51's the Mike.
Stafford now to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it first and 10 at their own 23. And they start the second half with Johnson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
53. Ready.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Nigel Bradham flying in and laying the lumber defensively.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me, long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They'll run it with Johnson. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, here's Stafford. And Amendola with a catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46.
22. Hey, exit.
Out of the gun, Stafford. He's going to air one out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage. Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here we go again. Check safety.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Working from the gun, Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And some space here. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 45 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Over the middle, complete. It's Jackson. That puts a good dent into their 1st down setback. It's a pickup of 16.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Devon Kennard in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Wentz now to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Check three, check three, check three.
Big 20. Hey, 50.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Detroit. 54 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the run.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jesse James, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Prater for the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. On 1st down, it's Howard. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting. And even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a pass dropped off here for James White. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. James White, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, check, check. 3 down, 3 down. Hey, 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 hey.
Stafford gives to Johnson on the draw. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
On first down, it's Stafford. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, Stafford looking downfield for Jones. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Easy, easy. Motion. '53's the money. 53.
Now Stafford. Looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. He couldn't hook up with Amendola there. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Check 37, check 37.
61, matchbox lights.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Christian Jones able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Wentz going to throw. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
49, check 49, check 49.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Fletcher Cox make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick-6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? And he said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Baldwin. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. C.J. Anderson in the game. He gets it here. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Lions on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Stafford. James has it. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Come on, D! Double right!
They'll run. Anderson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Second down and goal. Stafford, he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Jesse James with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. So now Stafford will bring up the Lions, and they'll go for 2.
Monday. They still playing suck. Y'all playing. Hey, echo. 50.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Tough there. Good pass, hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93.
Now Howard stripped. He lost the football. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll give to Howard. And now Jordan Howard slow to get to his feet, so they will stop play here. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Check tight.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. Try to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
It's now 3rd and 4.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, a run from White. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th.
Set, 180.
Check 53. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Eagles, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Detroit, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. Feel like Ginger from Casino.